Well, good afternoon, Gaffer.
Hi.
Can we start off with the latest new addition to the squad, Mikel San Jose, vastly experienced player, but what can you tell us about him? What will he bring?
I think Mikel is the kind of player who everybody knows about him because he's played in Athletic Bilbao. He's played in the Spanish national team. He played as a young player in Liverpool. So what can I tell about him? Is that again a very good player, a player who is going to bring us experience. Very good person, player who can play in different positions, which is good for us because again I have a shape, but I like to change something that shape, and he can fit in every single shape. So I'm not gonna say that it's a surprise that he came here, because when we started to be in touch, I knew that it was going to be difficult to sign a player like him. But once again, we've brought a hungry player, a player who wants to be successful, a player who is still 31 and he's still hungry, and he wants to live this experience with us.
Do you see him as a midfielder or a defender, or are you happy to see how that works itself out now he's part of the squad?
Yeah, let's see, because again, he can play central defender and with 4 defenders. He can play defender in a line of 3 defenders. He can play as a midfielder, a defensive midfielder, playing with 3 in the middle of the pitch. He can play with another midfielder, just with 2 in the middle. So he can bring us a lot of alternatives, which is good.
And when you look at the makeup of the squad now, the numbers and the positions that you've fulfilled, are you quite happy with what you've got at your disposal?
I am happy in terms the players who have arrived, and I will be happier when players who should leave will leave, because at the end it's going to be better for everybody, because I said at the beginning that I like to train with 20 players, because we have an academy to bring players. We need more players, because to prepare sessions with 24, 25 players is not, I don't like it. And to have players who know that they aren't going to play and just being here is not good for them, and it's not good for us.
How pleased are you with the atmosphere in the dressing room? I know you spoke about the togetherness, and you're starting to see that now in glimpses across games and at the training ground as well. It seems to be taking shape.
I think the people who are around us should see better than me, because I am just working, and for me it's normal. But sometimes the people who are around us can feel the difference between now and in the past, because again, I feel then happy, but I don't know what happened last year here or other years. So I am happy because they are happy. They are going to every single training session 150%. Sometimes I thought, especially after our game against Brentford, that sometimes that complacency the following week normally is a little bit worse. They weren't since the first day really well again. After Swansea game this week has been really, really good again on the pitch, and the atmosphere for me is good.
Mm-hmm. When you look to the bench on Saturday, you had Gary Gardner, Scott Hogan, Dan Crowley, experienced players at your disposal. How big a benefit is that now that you have these players to come off the bench and impact games?
It's really important, because, for example, the first game against Brentford, we knew that we weren't 100%. Now we aren't 100% yet, but at least we have 3, 4, 5 players on the bench who can replace the players who are on the pitch. So it's good, because I said always that we are gonna need always 14 players, because in our intensity it's difficult to keep that intensity 90 minutes. So to have 3 players or even more on the bench, always ready to play and good for the team, is also important.
2 games in, we're of course yet to concede a goal. Something that supporters have picked up on this week is your personal percentage, clean sheet, high rate of clean sheets in your managerial career. Is it something you pride yourself on? Do you not care about? Do you not look at? Where do you stand on it?
I said after the game last Saturday, for me I am proud because for me clean sheet means commitment, and the first 2 games in the season, especially after the last 7 months without winning a game, and then now the first 2 games with a clean sheet means commitment from everybody, and the players who were on the pitch, the players who went to the pitch, who were on the bench, the keepers, because we can't forget that we played with a teenager the first game, and then with a experienced keeper in Swansea, and both of them were brilliant. So it's commitment from everybody, and that is because I am proud of them.
You spoke after the Cambridge defeat and said that there was still a bit of a negative mentality at the club once we'd conceded the goal. You felt that. Do you feel like in the last 2 weeks progress has been made in that area?
Yes, I think so, because you can feel them. Now everybody feels that we can win the games, and I think 2 weeks ago nobody could think that. So now we are approaching the games knowing that we can win those games. We won the Brentford game, we had chances to win the Swansea game, and for sure we will have chances to win the game on Saturday.
Rotherham United next up. What can you tell us about them? What are you expecting from them on Saturday?
I'm expecting the toughest game so far, because I've known his manager Paul for a while. I know how good he's doing since he's in charge. They are recently promoted, but they were in Championship 2 years ago. I played against them when we were in Nottingham, and it was a tough game. So they are a team which plays, I was going to say 150, but I think they play 200% every game, because they know every single ball for them is their life. So we need to play at least with the same intensity, and to keep the organisation that we've had the last games.
Is Saturday a different challenge in the sense that we faced the promotion, well, the playoff finalists and the playoff semi-finalists so far, and now at home a side who's recently promoted from League One? Are you expecting a slightly different approach from your team?
Yeah, I told you that it's going to be the toughest game so far, because this game in certain areas reminds me the game against Cambridge. You know, low league team, when you think that you are better than them, and for me it's the biggest mistake when you are approaching a game, or when you are going to the pitch thinking that you are better than the opponent, because with that thoughts, we would have lost against Brentford, and we would have lost against Swansea. So we weren't worse than Brentford, or we weren't worse than Swansea. So we need to think that they are not worse than us.
Of course, the government made an announcement this week that means supporters are even further away from returning to football stadiums. How frustrating is it for them and for you as head coach that you still don't know when you're going to get our supporters back at St Andrews?
It's frustrating, but you know, it's the time that we are living, and from our side, the only thing that we can do is to keep doing the same thing that we are doing, especially the players, to keep them happy at home, to keep them proud of them at home, because at least if they can come to the stadium, at least they can enjoy the games from their houses, and the day that they can come back with us, it'll be amazing, and I hope that we will be able to be in a nice position on the table to receive them.
Finally from me, how are we shaping up in terms of injuries this week?
No one. I think everybody's fit.
Perfect. Best of luck. Thank you.